The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
Players Lounge, here we are, playoff week, wild card, super wild card coming your way this Sunday at AT&T Stadium as the Dallas Cowboys take on the Green Bay Packers. Players Lounge is Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, Barry Church, I am Newey Scruggs. Lots to get to today here as the Cowboys are a 7-point favorite going into this contest. 7? Yes, Mr. Church, is that too much?
That's a little much. That's a little much. Even at AT&T Stadium, that's a little much. I don't know what y'all think about that, but 7?
Look, I think we were right on board when you they finished 9-8. Statistical categories, I think the quarterback he raised some eyebrows with his numbers.
6 weeks, he been balling.
No, he has been. And, hey, what is your word? Sample size.
Sample size.
Take a sample size of the career. Yeah, he's been balling. I mean, he's had an incredible last 6 games, but right now I'm not even because that could change between now and Saturday.
7. I think.
We in the playoffs.
I think we win. I think we win by more than 7.
Oh,
to be honest, the only fear that is every week is the running game. For me, is always the running game.
I think it's the ground game that's gonna hurt this defense.
Do we have the same running back that they had last year? Did they change anybody?
They still got Jones and AJ Dillon.
They do, but if we look at the season this year, we just look at the season.
Absolutely.
What games outside of Buffalo and Arizona really did the Cowboys get ran on to where it was like, man, hey, that's the reason they lost? Outside of those 2 games.
No, it's more of our offense to me now is almost 50-50. Right, and if you're not able to get off the field on defense or get those turnovers in those situations where teams are running the football on you. We talked about Philadelphia where a lot of their turnovers, those were in positions where Jalen Hurts is getting 20-yard runs or Swift, whoever it is. And that's the same thing that happens in most other weeks. We don't come here and say, oh, man, we did well stopping the run. We like, oh, you know what? We were opportunistic, and we got some big-time turnovers. The time you face a team and they don't give you those turnovers and they're able to run the football, which I don't know what Detroit was doing when they stopped running the football on us, but once you get a team that doesn't do that, then that's when you have an issue. So that's what makes me a little nervous, and my headphones are going crazy.
Yeah, I don't. That's the thing for me. I'm in the same vein with what Danny said. It's just been times over the season where you've seen them not be able to get off the field, and there's those 3rd and longs, and they give up a long run to get a first down. So that's the only thing that concerns me. And I think I'm putting the importance for everybody where it needs to be on the running game. I know Aaron Jones doesn't have the numbers. He doesn't look anything like the running back that we faced before, but Dan Quinn's defense, for all of its failings and warts, the running game has been a part of that. And look, if you can mitigate this running game and not even make that an option, you make a young quarterback like Love look average.
And Aaron Jones was out. He was out a few weeks this season, so hadn't really been healthy. But we know what happens when the playoffs come around. It gets a little different. AJ and Dillon, he's a bruiser. No, I don't want to overplay it, but end of the season, the Packers, they've looked like a different team. Sure. Our Achilles heel for the last few years in the playoffs have been the running game. And thankfully, we get tested with they decent enough for us to say, okay, we need to carry this into the next game and further into the playoffs so we can really have that type of confidence. But, it's going to be a test.
So if it was up to y'all, real quick, y'all would have it if you get, one way or the other, stopping the run is the up and forth. Like, that's it. Like, we got to stop the run. They can have explosives in the passing game, but I'd rather contain the run than contain the explosives.
I would rather us be able to contain the run and put the entirety of the game in the Green Bay Packers passing game. I don't think Jordan Love has played that outstanding to where our pass rush doesn't get to him. And then also, hey, Gilly said he's going to be okay, whatever. And Deron Bland, you go to the honey hole too many times before you know it, you got a pick 6. Like, I would rather play that game versus the 6 to 7 yards of carry game.
Make them one-dimensional. That's That's it. Make them one-dimensional, and we see what ails us. And it's been the running game, but we know what they got over there. Romeo Dobbs, Christian Wood. They got some stuff. They got some stuff. And so I'm not saying that the running game is the end all to be all, because there's a whole other dimension of their offense. I'm sure we're gonna get into.
Hold on. But Church, that means you're worried about the secondary.
Of the Cowboys?
Yeah, you worried about our secondary.
Oh yeah,
more than the running game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I like
this.
I like
Okay.
this.
Oh, yeah.
I like
All right,
that.
is it because Gilly is injured, or is it even with a healthy Gilly?
No. With a healthy
Gilly.
Gilly, I'm not. It's not to me. It's not Gilmore that's necessarily I'm worried about, because I feel like he's a technician. He'll get the job done. My thing is what's been kind of an Achilles heel for this defense, if you say outside of the run, has been a quarterback that can buy time, to get, kind of step away from the rush, can kind of get outside the pocket, while also looking downfield to make these throws. I mean, we look at it. I'm not going to put Josh Allen in there because he only threw the ball, 15 times in that game. But you got Hurts that first go around. You had Josh Dobbs. Shoot, Geno Smith. And that's who kind of this guy reminds me a little bit of a Geno Smith, where he's not going to just, bend the corner and outrun you like a Dobbs, but he has enough athleticism to extend the play. And we saw what those receivers were able to do when they got a little bit of time back there. The rush wasn't getting after Geno Smith. He was able to pick apart this defense because he was using his athleticism to buy time for those guys to extend the plays and get deep. And that's what kind of worries me with this Love matchup. Like, if he's able to buy some time, they got the weapons on the outside. It can expose a secondary. Nothing against, Gilmore or Bland or nothing like that, but we all know it's hard to cover in this league, for extra time. So if you got a quarterback that can buy time, it presents a problem. That's all I'm saying.
I guess on the flip side of that, and you put your worry in the right place, but I think this defense, as far as our front, as far as pursuing the quarterback, I put a lot of trust in them now at this point in the season, being able to hunt the quarterback down. Jordan Love's comparison to Dak Prescott and how he uses his legs to get out of the pocket, to find, scramble drill, things like that. I've seen them do a lot of that over this last 6 games of him just creating and adding to plays. But he doesn't give me like that Dobbs, like, man, he going to sit in the play, he going to burn or someone. They give me that Jalen Hurts feeling, like, not the tush push, but you know what I mean. He doesn't give me that same word that I'm worried when we get down past 50 yards. Jalen Hurts gonna take it to the house because we all in cover one. So I just want to be clear that I feel like when we stop the run, we can then play our game, and then we can pin our ears back and come out the court. What is it, Danny?
No. Because I want to get Newey's take on it, because I like you. Listen, if we're going to lose the game, I want to lose it because, hey, man, our pass rush didn't get there. Micah and D-Law and all those guys versus, Damone Clark and Bell and them couldn't fit the gaps and all that stuff. Like, we come in here on Monday and we say, man, pass rush didn't show up. Jordan Love called through 50 times and we couldn't figure out a way to stop him. I'm sitting there, I'm saying, you know what? That surprised me. Because that to me, that is the strength of our defense, being able to rush the passer. That's when they were talking about historically great. When we came into the season, it was sacks here and sacks there, and they only got a half a second to throw it, all that. If we somehow get away from that in the playoffs, then that is, to me, that's an anomaly. And I don't expect that to happen. But the ring game, that's somewhere every game, no matter who it is, I'm sitting there saying, hey, we got to get something figured out, because that team is going to do what the last team did, and they're going to try to run the football.
I asked Dan Quinn about the running game and the fact that they played them 2 years ago up there in Lambeau. And that was another game where you talk about Josh Allen not throwing a whole lot. Aaron Rodgers might have had 14 passes before they went in overtime. I mean, they ran that ball. And he spoke about what makes the offense good for Green Bay is their ability to play action pass, use the run, set up, and throw the ball. That there's something to be worried about here. So I think you're correct that Matt LaFleur would be wise to look at the Arizona tape to say, how do we run the ball, and then how do I tell my quarterback, if you see something, go get yourself 6, 7, 8 right here and keep the chains moving. So this is going to be a game where Cowboys defense is going to have to be good. Yeah. And I'll say this for Dan Quinn as a defensive coordinator, the Cowboys defense has been good in the playoffs. It's been the offense that has not been able to score the points in the losses. We saw what they did last year at Tampa Bay to Tom Brady. They couldn't run it, and they got after him. And so the Cowboys offense was able to get points early, and the game got away from Tampa Bay. But Green Bay, rookie quarterback, if you're Matt LaFleur, help your quarterback by running the football and try to lessen the moment as much as you can and tell him, hey man, if it's 3rd and 7 and you see something, go get it. Don't be afraid to go get it. So this is gonna be this is
It's a good matchup.
What you think about the 7, the spread? You think that's kind of on point? It's going to be closer?
I think it's on point considering how well Dallas has played at home. I mean, this team is dominant at home. So I don't have an issue with the 7. It's how do you get there? You know, is this a game where you come out and the offense goes and you make them play catch up, or you sit around here like we saw last week, you playing around in the first quarter?
Trying to give everybody some, huh? Trying to just let me get Tolbert, let me get Gallo, let me get all the guys some, and then you finally switch back into it and give CD and Cooks and Ferguson, what they deserve. Hey man, give it to them. And this is gonna be the game right here. What I said, 75 and 30 for Tony Pollard.
This is around.
This is gonna be it right here, Nui.
But that's the last thing this defense or this team wants to do is make this a game in the fourth quarter. Yeah. I mean, because you look at it, that's basically what the Packers have been able to do these last 6-7 weeks.
Yes.
They're riding on confidence, and to me, if you're able to extinguish that confidence early in the game, you got, like you said, a young quarterback, his first time in the playoffs, I think you'll be able to kind of collapse their confidence as a team. But if this thing gets in the fourth quarter and it's a tight one, Jordan Love's like, hey, I'm here. I've arrived.
And oh, by the way, Church has been saying this for a while. If they need 3, can't stop them. They need 7, can't stop them.
We definitely don't want that situation.
We haven't been able to do that at the end of a game, in December, and that just doesn't bode well for a tight game. So hopefully that 7-point spread is hopefully it's 8.
What you need, though, what you need is for your offense then to come out and ball. And it's the last 6 games, this same Packers squad that we're talking about, they lost to the Giants. They lost to Tampa Bay, too, right? They had a real close game with the Carolina Panthers. So, I mean, when you do your evaluation on them, I'm not trying to minimize who they are. They made it to the playoffs they captured the 7th seed. They are a dangerous team, and we got to be aware of them. But at the same time, we just got to play our game. There's no pressure. Look, there's really no pressure on us. We're at home. Come out and play your game. You got to play tense like you did last week. You had to know that team was like, we got it. Not only you clock watching, we got to get the 2nd seed. But once they fell into that game, dog, everything opened up, and they have to play like this. And I think that's what gives them the advantage at home.
You think there's more pressure on Green Bay in this game than there is Dallas?
House money.
Green Bay's playing with house money.
House money. Pressure on Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay's playing with house.
And I think people say that, but I mean, Nui just called Jordan Love a rookie quarterback. He's not a rookie. Yeah, he's been in the league for a while, but the truth is he's never been in a situation like this. Let's give Dak credit for the amount of playoff wins that he has, the amount of times he's been in the playoffs, and also the fact that as far as leadership is concerned, Mike has been here. Yeah. So, I mean, to me, if you come out and you tense and you play tight, then that would tick me off more than anything. If they didn't come out and play, they're at home. This is what you played to get the second seed for, was to be able to come home and put your foot on them.
The Green Bay Packers were not expected to make the playoffs. When you thought I picked Detroit to win the division, I think most people had Minnesota being the second best team in that division, and then Green Bay and Chicago fighting it out from there. You moved on from Aaron Rodgers. We didn't know what to expect from Jordan Love. The bar was average at best in expectations.
Devontae out.
This guy finished second in the league in touchdown passes. If they lose this game, everybody's gonna say, "Hey, good job, good job." Cowboys lose this game, everybody's gonna say, "Same old, won't like this." I mean, it's bad. So the pressure's on the Cowboys because they're expected to win. And like I said, if you look at who loses, who's going to get all the blame? Cowboys going to get all the blame. Packers lose, be no blame. It's, hey, nice job.
The sky's going to fall. So ain't no if.
It's going down.
We might be out of here. We might be the reason.
It's been pressure.
Change the name.
It's been pressure every week. It's been pressure every week on this team. You can't win on the road. You can't beat a team with a playoff team. It's been a narrative each and every week. They finished 12-5. They got the NFC East, and that's not the end all, the be all. But you play to get yourself to home field. You got that now. Man, come out and slap these folks. I mean, it's not. Where's the pressure in that? We understand if you lose, the sky's falling and all of that, but you're good enough to get here and be the second seed, play like it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I hear you.
Yeah. No, I mean, it doesn't make for a good show if you're confident. Let's worry.
First quarter last week.
We're not worried, but
let's worry.
We talked this last week against the Commanders, and they came out and
down 10-7.
People can say whatever they want to. I was sitting there like, oh, here we go. Here it is. We're gonna make it closer than it needs to be. And that's how the game started off. On the road, where you say you can't win on the road. And oh, by the way, we did go on the road 2 times in a row. We lost those games. Yeah. So the pressure in those situations, it was on. It was like, hey, man, you're right. Teams say everybody believes that we cannot go on the road against a good team and win. We didn't do it. No. So now the pressure is not just this year. It's coming from last year and the year before, where you went 12-5 both those years, and you still didn't find a way to get it done in the playoffs. This is why Dak Prescott does, not because he feels pressure, but this is why he doesn't put on the NFC East Championship thing, because he knows that the goal is to get further than you had gotten in the previous 2 years, because they saying you can't get over the hump. Yeah. So it's not pressure, but it's like, hey man, they know what the expectation is. He knows, and I think Dak is one of those people who operates very well most of the times under pressure. So I think he's embracing it.
When that field goal got blocked. You know that Shannon Sharp gif where he's like, see? That's right. That's what I'm sitting there looking at. I'm like, really? This is what your biggest game of the year? And we know how well Brandon Aubrey has been kicking, and you're just like,
I was more upset that that's how it got messed up for him.
And luckily, on the radio broadcast, Baby Lopers, it's gonna be a touchdown, and luckily it didn't happen. But that's your thing. Really, this game of the year, this is what we're doing. You're just running through there,
But I was more upset about Greg Olsen going on a rant about now Brandon Aubrey's gonna be in his head about. Yeah, come on, man. They always trying to sell us some kind of fear, like
and he missed the next one.
Yeah, and he doinked the next one. Better hurry up and get him down there to kick another one, because oh my God, there's a curse on Brandon Aubrey. Hey, come on, man.
Quick with it,
it's crazy. Come on, man.
Right. Nah, I think Brandon Aubrey gonna be okay.
Man, but come on. Then when he nailed the 50, he nailed that 50-yarder. You're like, oh, all right.
Mike McCarthy did say yesterday he wanted Aubrey to get in there and get another kick to go into this game. So yeah. I mean, Olsen said it, but Mike went out there yesterday and basically, we want to make sure he
get right,
feel good.
He kicking it home this time. He all right. He ain't missed one at home.
We're not. This is not Brett Maher.
Nah, this ain't.
That had a lot to do with that. Brett Maher couldn't.
Brett Maher
buy a field goal.
And carrying on last year's last season's bad mojo at the end here. But this is what the Cowboys have wanted, and the expectations are you need to win these 2 games that you have lined up at AT&T Stadium. Win the wild card game, win the division. I was talking with Todd Archer, ESPN, and Todd's been here a long time. And Todd's like, you know what? If McCarthy was brought here to take this team further than Jason Garrett, and if he doesn't get them past the divisional round, was he better than Jason? And Mike,
it's a legit question.
This is what the expectation is.
You had me fooled, bro.
What you mean?
You had me fooled. You had me fooled when you listed off the teams they lost to and did not list off the teams they beat.
Hey, if we go Rams, 6 games, if we say Detroit, 6 games, we say 6 games. I just told you the last 6 games who they lost to. That's all.
I know.
If we're taking the sample size.
When he started reading it, I was like, man.
No, I looked at it too. I didn't say that.
The Rams, who we talking about? Yeah. No, I don't know. No, when I looked at it, I promise you, I expected to see they lost to all the good teams.
I ain't never seen. I've never seen a chocolate tasty cake.
You better enjoy that.
Oh yeah,
you better enjoy that.
They went to Detroit in week 12 and beat them, and then backdoored that with Kansas City.
They beat them up on Thanksgiving Day,
and they beat the Rams, who we talking about. That's a healthy Rams team they beat.
That's true.
This is what we know.
Lost to the Broncos, lost to the Raiders.
This is a playoff team. This is a playoff team. It ain't the Washington Commanders. Yeah. And I'm so thankful we playing at home. and not the 5 seed.
Yeah, you don't want them problems.
This is a team that 2 years ago went up there to Lambeau Field. Their own fan base thought they were going to lose. We assumed, we all picked the Cowboys to win the game. They have 14 points, and then they melted down in the fourth quarter. This is not an outfit to take lightly. Mike McCarthy, in his last 2 games against the Cowboys, when he was coaching Green Bay, they won games in which you thought the Cowboys were, well, I'd say the Cowboys were in a position to win the games. Aaron Rodgers is not there. But still, there is something about the Green Bay Packers.
Spoiler.
Can't act like Aaron Rodgers didn't have something to do with it. But then all of a sudden, I mean, their running game exploded.
Look, Aaron Rodgers, everybody should be good.
Can I ask you something, Louis?
Yeah.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Now that it's played out, are you more?
Yes, it did play out.
Are you happy that we are at home playing against the Green Bay Packers versus because that's this what it should have been. This what it should have been right here. This what it should have been right here. Thank you for bringing that tasty cake in here, man. That's what it should have been the whole time. A chocolate tasty cake. You don't want to talk. Listen, I'm okay. I know you are happy that we ended up getting the 2 seed versus the 5. No, because it played out and it was good. I know you're happy. I know you're excited.
It played out better than I thought.
That's what I'm glad you can. That's what I'm talking.
How do you accept that? How do you accept that as an answer?
Hey man, you can sit there and stew and be mad. We're gonna take a break right here. What?
He gonna choke on that tasty cake.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. # be your own boss.
There is no I in Dallas. There is no I in Hart either. No I in Blue Star or in Lone Star for that matter. And there's no I in how about them Cowboys? Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, home or away, we rally together, we cry together, and we always rally cry together because there's definitely no I in Cowboys fans. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Sean Polite is your 2023 Cowboy Fan of the Year, and now he needs your help. Vote for Sean to be given the ultimate title of NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan, by casting your vote at NFL.com/Fan of the Year.
Flawless.
So fresh and so
man
clean.
good.
So,
Man good.
believes himself.
Hey, dog, got to.
Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos.
Hey, guess what, y'all?
What's happening?
I've been doing so good at these voiceovers that they called me for the stadium to voice a spot for the game Sunday, dog. Make sure y'all don't say Snowbird.
No Snowbird.
No Snowbird.
Fans, get your CONCACAF tickets here at AT&T Stadium.
Don't let church tell you how to say it.
I got you.
I know who Dr. Tico.
We're going to give you one of them tequila reads. Jaranitos.
Unbelievable.
If you want to know where the Uber lot is.
Stop, Chris.
Chris off the top
3 syllables.
Chris can't help himself.
Danny McCray, Barry Church are the players of New Scruggs. Cowboys getting ready to face the Green Bay Packers. More firings today in the National Football League. Tennessee has fired head coach Mike Vrabel, who had 2 years left.
Garbage.
Ain't
And
getting no help.
You know, I'm trying to understand how you can lose your job with those quarterbacks that he had out there. I mean, this man was Tannehill had a crazy contract. I believe he had the highest cap hit of any quarterback in the league this year. They drafted Will Levis. Okay, you drafted old boy from Liberty, third round. He's not that guy. Yeah, Malik's not that guy. Blaine Gabbert apparently used to play some games out there. Derrick Henry out here slowed down. I mean,
He be throwing the ball to Derrick Henry.
He got more completions.
right, yeah, guys. Tannehill's hurt. Derrick, take it and go. I mean, at some point in time, like how you want to fire a guy, how much did you help him? They did go down to Miami and win a game with Will Levis, and I think he's a good coach. You guys may feel differently. I think he's a good football coach. All I can say to the folks down in Tennessee is it can get worse.
It probably will before it get better.
Wasn't he competing for the AFC Championship like a few years ago?
Number one seed.
He was a coach of the year, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Coach of the
2
year.
years ago.
So
Life comes at you fast.
that's wild.
That's true.
That, you're going to go ahead and blow out him because they're 6-11 this year, finished in last place. There's some rumblings that apparently he disagreed with some of the direction and wanted some more input in personnel.
He was trying to get out of there.
And now that Tennessee has one of these, they want to be collaborative. That's this kind of thing now. San Francisco feel let's be collaborative in our decision making. Collaboration got you Trey Lance in San Francisco.
Yeah, they got lucky with Purdy. That was all luck.
Right. So I mean, this whole collaboration thing.
The man on our team.
Man.
It's a Cowboy. Like, y'all forgot he out there on the roster.
I'll say this. Look,
Get him a towel, man.
No filter at all.
no, it's all right. Let's have a Trey Lance conversation, okay? Let's do it.
They got lucky because he was.
Yeah,
Here's the thing about the Trey Lance conversation.
I'm gonna let this go.
They traded up.
Barry.
They traded up 3 picks. Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones. The collaboration talked the head coach out the player, and they took Trey Lance. Yeah. I had a guy who was a scout here with the Cowboys who once told me, he's like, man, worst thing you can do is draft players coaches don't like. Because front office people have ideas of what they like and coaches have what they want. When they decided to push the head coach, who basically hired all of them because they hired Shanahan, he brought them, they basically talked him out of the guy he wanted. So now you're coaching Trey Lance, and Shanahan has what he wants to do. It's kind of like what we're watching with Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. Russell Wilson doesn't do the things that Sean Payton wants. So what happens at the end there? Don't work out. Then they bringing back Jimmy G, and they're doing all that stuff. And then last year, despite having some progress in the preseason, they made him number 3. They were trying to get Trey Lance out.
You said Shanahan wanted who?
Mac Jones.
The one down in New England?
Yes.
So what is the comparison?
I wish you would have got him.
Yeah.
So the whole collaboration thing here, I don't think it works. I think what you need to do is ultimately have people who make decisions. And everybody in the room don't need to have what do you think, Barry? What do you think? No. If I'm the decision maker, I'm the decider. George Bush said, let the man be the decider. So that whole thing where they should have let Kyle Shanahan go with his guy.
No,
Mac Jones.
that makes sense. And I think, look, time-proof and consistency at front offices and coaches making decisions on guys they want versus scouting department. I think, was it Rod Marinelli a couple of years ago picked Christian somebody, this defensive lineman. Tristan Hill.
The enforcer.
The enforcer.
Central Florida.
Central Florida. And I mean, everyone else wanted
it. Was not a starter at Central Florida at the end.
My point. It's just basically you could fall in love with a guy that the organization doesn't want, and just for any other reason they will pick this guy. And if the guy doesn't work, it goes against the coach. And I mean, you've just seen that back and forth in front offices over the years.
Vince Young.
Boom. there's another example.
Norm Chow, the offensive coordinator, who was a BYU guy, get under center, drop back. That was his thing. Matt Leinart, Carson Palmer, that was his thing. And then you had Jeff Fisher. They didn't want him. The owner, Bud Adams, wanted him. And how did that go? Despite the fact he was Rookie of the Year, made the playoffs. I mean, Vince had an over 500 winning percentage, but it never went that way. When Jeff Fisher finally could get his way and he pushed Vince out, that's what happened.
Speaking of, while we on it, a little segue. The game came on last night, national championship game. The guy who got second in the Heisman voting, which is Michael Penix, played last night. Yeah. And I'm watching the game, and I'm saying, the teams that are sitting at the top, right? And they have that decision to make when they're trying to figure out who's going to be their franchise guy. And you have, what 3 or 4 that are sitting at the top right there with I think it's Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and then Penix. How do you make that decision?
Bo Nix.
Yeah, Bo Nix is a.
No, I'm not saying he's not. Bo Nix. I was just
JJ McCarthy.
I haven't forgotten who Bo Nix is. Okay, now people could get better. I ain't forget that. So
we're NFL evaluators. We know what they do.
So when I'm listing those 4, because I know, but the point is, how do you make that decision? Because you're talking about Vince Young, right? Where you say, all right, well, we all knew that Vince Young was an amazing talent, but if you want the guy because you know he's going to be great, but the GM who's in that position is like, nah, I like somebody else, and then it fails, and now both of y'all fail, now both of y'all getting fired. I can't imagine how that goes, and then how it feels because you sitting there as the head coach, I know I was right, but there's nothing I could do about it. Nothing I could do about it.
It happens all across the league. One reason why the Panthers in the situation they're in, so Matt Rule, when he was running the team, decided to take J.C. Horn, the corner. The owner wanted Justin Fields. Head coach who was running personnel told him, no, this is what we're going to do. Owner was hot. So last year, the collaboration that the owner talked about and said he's the deciding vote, the rest of the guys apparently wanted C.J. Stroud. Who the owner want? Bryce Young. GM fired, head coach fired. So that's why I just go this whole I don't believe in the collaboration. If I hire you to do the job, Danny, you my coach, you my GM, we don't need 13 people in the room trying to sit up here and make a decision. We come up with no. What was the beauty of Jimmy Johnson? Jimmy Johnson was making decisions. That's where we're going to go.
This is crazy. One of these dudes is going to be a bust.
Somebody's going to pick this guy as their top guy, right? They're going to pick this guy as the top guy. And then 3 years from now, we're going to say, possibly you passed up on this said person because you thought this one was going to be better. And that is the Caleb Williams, Drake May, Michael Penn. One of those, it's unfortunate because, most of the time that happens. One of those guys is going to be sitting there saying, man, hey, you got us fired.
Trubisky. They passed up on Mahomes. They passed up on Watson.
It's a quarterback-driven league, and unfortunately, most of those teams at the top are driven by the decision to have a quarterback to take them. I mean, think about the Bengals and what happened to them. They bring on Joe Burrow, and it's like it expands, bring their whole program forward 10 years because they get a good quarterback. Those teams believe that's the difference in winning and losing. If we can get a guy at the helm that we can get behind and build around, it's a need versus want. Cowboys, for years, New England has been in a want position to sit back and just get, if you're around the 30, what are we looking for? Cornerbacks, linebackers, whatever. I just get to pick of the litter who's ever on my draft board. But you can't miss.
Joe is a unicorn, though, in a way, to me. I mean, here's a guy that comes with the national championship, arguably the most dominant team to ever win the thing. Then you've got a guy who is Heisman Trophy. I mean, this was like a no-brainer. And by the way, he was from Central Ohio. But when you start talking about that last year's draft, where here's Bryce Young, some people are like, man, too short. Then you had C.J. Stroud. I think it get complicated. Wow. And this year, I don't think it's really a complication at all. To me, it's Caleb Williams. It really is. And in certain years, it's kind of like, well, maybe, the year Eli came out. You had Eli, you had Phillip Rivers, you had Ben Roethlisberger. There was kind of that situation, where do you go? I remember when Cam came out. Remember that Sports Illustrated cover? I know you guys don't read it. But heck, remember the Sports Illustrated cover? It was Cam Newton, Blaine Gabbert, and Jake Locker.
Yeah.
Like, which one?
What do you mean?
Right,
what are you talking about?
Right.
How?
Even though we saw Cam was a unicorn, but it was kind of like, before, now we see Lamar's all established, but people are like, well, we don't know about them dudes like him. And Jerry Richardson like can't have no tattoos, and so
I see a Lamar type of guy in the draft right now. Just saying.
Who?
Jaden Daniels. How many
No.
yards rushing he had this season?
He like that.
I'm just saying, I see that type of guy in the draft right now.
So you say that. And no sooner than that lady on Fox Sports Radio was talking about Lamar Jackson, you want your quarterbacks to be quarterbacky. Believe me, you're going to start to hear that. Church and I, remember the Ohio State playoff game and Justin Fields went off? I told you he was going to drop.
Yeah,
I told you he was going to drop.
He did
I was like, bro, I know this league has done it too many times. Lamar Jackson, saw it. Deshaun Watson, we saw it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he's going to be the guy, but a black guy going to drop.
If anybody going to drop,
I don't know the agent. Somebody got to, hey, bro, that might be you. Might be. I mean, we saw Lamar sitting in that room forever and ever. And I mean, and then, God bless Ozzie Newsome. Make it sci-fi. Roll Tide. But he didn't even make him his first overall in the first draft. He took the tight end, Hayden Hurst. Then he went back and he's like, it's all Ozzie, what a great. Bro, you had the opportunity to take him here, but even you weren't convinced. Every year it happens, man. Every year.
But then, time-proof consistency on that. For every Lamar Jackson, you have Trevor Lawrence that doesn't work out. You have,
gave up on Amari.
No. I'm basically. How many times have we seen Ryan? For those guys,
Smith.
how many times do you have to learn? But you learn your lesson.
This league doesn't learn, okay? So Michael Penix, I'm listening to the radio today, getting killed. I ain't missed a bunch of guys. How much did this draft stock drop? I mean, all that. Yeah. Like, did you guys just see him for the 2 games of the guy? Like, Michael Penix is a good football player. Yeah. I mean, the guy got the dude in Indiana long-term extension. Just got fired because he left. But I mean, this dude was out here getting people paid. But I'm telling you right now, be it Daniels, be it Penix, one of them dropping.
Daniels is the dual.
Daniels
is the dual threat guy.
So happening.
No, it's Penix right now. After that game, it's Penix.
Watch Bo Nix go ahead of one of them.
Hey, if you take Bo Nix with the expectation that if that's going to be your franchise guy, then you deserve whatever comes your way. Because that's the dude been in college 13 years. I was in the SEC. I seen the good. He been playing for a long time. Yeah, he been playing for a long time.
Penix is going to be 27 when he's. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, but he ain't never looked like Bo Nix.
Okay.
I watched Bo Nix. He was
and I think if anything, the knock on Penix is that he's been hurt. He's been injured so much. I mean, the kid has overcome a whole lot to be the quarterback.
Shoulders and knees,
shoulders, all of that. If that's the knock that's going to be on him, injury history is the only thing.
You just know what happens.
Come on, man. Come on with that, man. Keep hope alive, brother. Where's Jesse Jackson when you need him, man?
Rainbow Push can't help you here, baby.
Second rounder, huh?
Ruben started here. I mean, you'll drop them.
Nah, no.
You gonna hear it on ESPN, man.
Go look it up.
All of them.
Church was sold. I'm telling you, man. Church was like, feels like I'm like, dude. They go, he dropping, man. He dropping. Sure enough, on draft day, what the homeboy came up? Well, he don't study. Teams.
They tried to hit trial with that last year.
The Wonder Lick killing them, boy.
Yeah, right, I'm telling you. But remember how Fields got rolled up, and then Orlovsky's like, well, I didn't say it. I just heard some people say it, and he got rooked. I'm telling you, every year happens, man.
Ain't nobody got it like Kyler though. When they hit him with the video game clause.
Boy, all Call of Duty.
When you do that to yourself, though. They do that to yourself.
They say, hey, man, you can't have a PlayStation in your house. We can't. You got to study for this amount of hours per day. It's like 3 hours.
The gyms where they had like the iPad open and they had that fake dummy. The dummy sitting there looking at while he playing video games.
Just press play on that.
Watch that. So bad.
If I had that clause, I'd be in trouble.
Yeah, we all know, Chris.
I'm glad our quarterback is Dak Prescott. All right, we ain't never had to worry about nothing like that. It's something to get a hold of a guy who has a character.
He was still balling too on Call of Duty. He was still coming in on Sunday like.
All this week, Kyler Murray came in. He been playing Call of Duty for the first 13 weeks of the season. Came in and said, "Watch this," and spoiled all type of people's seasons.
Thank you, Kyler. They got right back on.
They're trying to fire Nick Sirianni because homeboy got off that Call of Duty. Boy got off.
Hold on, guys. I'll be back.
At halftime, he like, Coach.
Press pause. Press pause.
In the gulag real quick.
Come back. Revive me. I'm back now.
Halftime, he goes play the quick multiplayer.
Shout out to Kyler Murray, man. Shout out to Kyler.
Man.
He gonna make sure he get his money.
Kyler Murray. All right, let's do this last break right here. Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos. DallasCowboys.com.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Enjoy premier dining, shopping, and experiences from 20-plus restaurant shops and more at the Star District. Check out Women's Boutique, Flea Style of Frisco, and the official boot partner of the Dallas Cowboys, Lou Casey. Enjoy New Year's celebration at Snowbird Cocktail Lounge, Concrete Cowboy, and CityWorks Eatery. Visit thestardistrict.com for more information. Give me mine!
Flawless.
That's good.
Flawless.
Get that tasty cake on 3.
Snowbird, baby. I like
that tasty cake a little bit more than he let know. Yeah, get that tasty cake in you.
When you taking a piece at a time, you trying to save it.
Wait a minute.
It's the last one.
That's a chocolate tasty cake?
I ain't never seen one before.
All right.
Bring Heckman one.
Nah, don't bring me nothing. You keep all that.
Bring Heckman one.
Hey, I'm bringing the Little Debbie's out. Don't worry about it.
Bring
Little Debbie the zebra cakes out.
The zebra.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Good plan. That look like something else, man.
Yeah, man. Tasty cake.
Yeah.
All good.
I bet you I won't.
The snack.
So we'll see exactly who else. Anybody else getting fired here soon? So we'll see. Dan Quinn. A lot of folks want to interview him. One of the team's a commander. So Dan Quinn.
Don't do it.
Defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. I've been saying for 3 years he's gonna leave. So.
Yeah, you have. You took Will McClay with him one time.
That's it, though.
You had a whole GM job ready.
They've been calling Will McClay.
Of course they want to break up.
Jerry confirmed that too. I mean, why wouldn't you? Three straight 12-5 seasons. You look at the draft in here. I mean, you know, and obviously Will McClay has had some personal reasons why he's wanted to stick around here. But you know, at some point in time, you know, Will may want to have that title and be able to run his own room, because here, as long as the Joneses are running this thing, they're going to keep the general manager title. Jerry is the general manager. But I can say this because I've talked to many employees who've gotten job offers from other teams, and that they have had conversations, and Jerry has said, don't let money be the reason you leave. Meaning, Jerry matched whatever money people could have made.
Yeah.
One of our favorite staffers here told me once, hey, had a job opportunity to go east and a job title, Jerry matched the money, and he stayed.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. He's paid Dan Quinn. Jerry has said he's paid Dan Quinn very well, which when I talk to people, they say he's basically making some head coach money around here.
As he
should. Yeah, exactly. And nobody disputes that, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page on that.
There's no salary cap for coaches, so. But if you're Dan Quinn, at some point in time, I think, especially as you watch some of the coaching jobs in this league, man, you feel like, hey, man, I've coached a team to a Super Bowl. Hey, the Chargers haven't asked for him, but, you know.
Ain't they in cap? They got some cap trouble coming on this season.
They got trimming. They got some trimming.
Yeah, so when you looking at being a head coach, which is why I think he's still here. Some of the reason why he's still here is, hey man, what opportunity is out there? And even though it looks like that's a great opportunity, how many years does the quarterback have left on his deal? What receivers? What the cap number is going to look like? And you start to look at that and you say,
you want to look under the hood. You want to see what's going on. You want to test drive.
You want to go out there and get fired after 2 years? Like he went to Atlanta. This already happened. So his second chance, he wants that to be successful.
The Chargers' job would be the most attractive because of the quarterback.
Keenan Allen and Mike Williams.
Y'all still on this Justin Herbert stuff, huh?
I am not downing Justin Herbert.
I'm not going to down him, but that's not going to be a reason why I'm like, yeah, that's the one I want to go to.
Yeah.
We've seen the dude.
We just did a whole thing on quarterbacks. We just talked about Penix and Daniels from LSU.
I'll disagree with you. I think that is if you look at the jobs that are open, I think that's the most attractive job because you have a quarterback.
No, it's the most attractive one. I'm saying that's not one where I'm leaving to Dallas or somewhere where Jerry's telling me, hey, don't let money be the reason. And I'm finna go out there with Justin Herbert, knowing what's coming behind that with the salary cap issues or whatever else they may have going on. I don't know. I don't know if I'm jumping at the opportunity.
I would disagree with you.
Okay, yeah.
I would disagree with you. I would believe that when we start to look at these jobs around the league, take Carolina, for instance. You've got Bryce Young, but what's your confidence level right now? And then the offensive line and everything else around it. Now, your issue with the Chargers is Keenan Allen's making a high number, so is Mike Williams. One of those two guys is going to go, but that was also why they drafted Quint Johnson, knowing we're about to lose somebody. Joey Bosa is making a large number. Khalil's making a large number. This may be the time where you go to Bosa and it's, hey, cap guy, come knocking. Trim this a little bit here because you haven't played. Yeah. But if I'm a coach, look at Mike Vrabel. What you have when you don't got a quarterback. If I'm Mike Vrabel, I'll go out there and say, okay, can I find a couple dudes defensively and can we patch something together? I'll do that if I got a quarterback. But man, I mean, look at Belichick, man. The man left the stadium with his face covered up and hat pulled down. Man, it won 6 Super Bowls. Fans out there all mad at him. The owner won't even come up there and support. You done gave him 6 Super Bowls, man, and this man left the field face covered up because he had Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones just straight killing him.
Isn't he the general manager?
He runs everything.
Okay.
Somebody else. I mean, somebody look who he got. He got the guys he picked.
This food is nasty. Who cooked it? You did. I did.
You did. Hold on, wait.
So what I'm saying is, if Bill has an opportunity to go to a place like with the Chargers where you've got a quarterback, that's appealing.
Then you don't give him the general manager.
Talking about Dan Quinn?
If I'm Dan Quinn, okay, Raider job. Or
No, that's not what I'm saying. I think
Dan Quinn with Justin Herbert. I believe Dan Quinn would take that.
Okay, yeah. I think my point is not that like you got guys who are searching for a head coaching spot.
Yes,
and then you have a guy like Dan Quinn who has come out and said, "Hey, man, I know like the group of guys I have here, and I want blah 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 all this other stuff." I'm saying. I see him leaving for a almost perfect situation.
Gotta be perfect.
Almost perfect situation. Just based off the fact that he went to Atlanta and didn't work out. Second shot. And this is just my personal opinion this is just my personal opinion on Justin Herbert. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
That's
I hear a lot of
fair.
arm strength. He got all the talent, all this other stuff, but he multiple guys that came in there and tried to make some stuff work. Your guy went in there, tried to make it work.
That's
and we
fair.
see the same stuff from Justin Herbert. He can throw the ball really well.
That's fair. I mean, he's just missing the clutch factor. That's
a hell of a factor.
And that's the biggest factor to missing. He missing it right now.
But Dan Quinn, go on out there and find you another offensive coordinator.
Ain't no comment with the Raiders. You want that?
No, he don't want no parts of that one.
You act like he gotta leave. I'm saying that if you're forcing him out the door, then I'm probably gonna pick LA.
I mean, it's one of 32 jobs, and I understand what you're saying. It's appealing, and as a guy that's already coached a squad to the Super Bowl, but I'm with you. It's perfect when I walk in. It's got to be right. It's got to be right.
When I see Commanders and I see
don't do that.
See Carolina, you're like, okay. Carolina's got a lot of issues, out there. Now, not to mention the
Oh man, we
overtime.
Goodness gracious!
All right,
You didn't bad know what I got.
Fans Lounge. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here at DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?